Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the CheefHouse podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the movie The Sound of Freedom that us three watched on Friday. It's currently Monday. And we had a lot of talking points to go over about this movie. We think it's really important to spread this message. And I posted a TikTok of us three going to watch it, and it has 350,000 views right now. So that also incentivized us even more to go public and keep talking about our opinion on this and really spread awareness to watch this movie. Yeah. So we can just start that we went to see this movie. What were our expectations in going into watching that?
Figure out how this child trafficking happens in most cases. Because whenever you think about child trafficking, you think of someone coming out of a van, picking a kid up. Oh, don't let your kids talk to strangers. Don't take candy. Don't take ice cream from no one. Don't help find someone's dog. Like, those were the simple cases. But what that showed, it was you go into, like, your child sings or dances or has any type of talent that can be exploited. I mean, they're going to find you. They're going to try and get your child some way, somehow. And it just happens. And it happens a lot.
Yeah. Ever since COVID and the Jeffrey Epstein case dropped, and that was in mainstream media for a little bit, people capitalized on that by making shows and documentaries. Going in to see a movie that was about human trafficking, that's kind of something I kept in the back of my head as I was watching the film, as I went in there to go sit in my seat and watch this movie that was to spread awareness about this big problem. You know, it's not just sex trafficking, it's organ harvesting and adrenochrome harvesting. So there's a lot of means by which these people, pedophiles and human traffickers, that are incentivized to go out and do this and profit off of it and basically run one of the biggest and most profitable illegal crime networks that are international in the world today. So
yeah,
it's a big problem, and we just have to open the front door instead of brushing it under the rug.
Yep.
I also, before we get into the topics that we wrote down, but it also seemed like when the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing came out, it was almost like the mainstream media was kind of making a point of like, oh, like we caught him.
Yeah.
Acting like the problem was solved almost.
Oh,
like
we found the biggest piece of it.
It was just him. It was
Yeah.
just bullshit. You know how many fucking people
It's
are
an
involved?
interconnected web.
Yeah.
It's not just one dude has an island, fucks kids. Like, that's not the whole point of what that was. It's how many people on flight logs, how many people had meetings with him. Yeah, it's like business, and he had a lot of persuasion in people and the way that things went, moving money, dealing with their money. But I mean, you look at that whole thing, he kind of trapped people, recording everything on the island, voice, audio, everything, to get people to blackmail. But besides blackmail, how many of these people actually wanted to be there? How many people wanted to partake in what he was offering in his extravagant lifestyle out there? There's no coincidence. It's a network of people, just like anything else. You need a network of people to push drugs across the border in the United States, to get stuff from Colombia. It's not just one or two people at the top. It's
a whole working system.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah. Imagine you're a DEA agent and you're trying to plan your course of action if you're doing a drug bust. It's not just one person who's the kingpin and then the entire industry collapses. That's not how it works. That's not how it works with a legal business. That's not how it works with an illegal business. These people have associates. They do networking. They know people from probably 50 other countries that are outlets for these kids to come in through these people, so that they can meet their quotas for making sure this business is profitable for them. You got to keep in mind, this is a business. So there's numbers involved, and there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just one person that puts a kid in a van, ships them out to an island. There's a lot of people with their hands in the honeypot, so you can't just act. You can't act like Jeffrey Epstein is the one and only problem, and we got him. And it's pretty much been publicly exposed that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
He might still be alive, to keep it a stack.
Well, you never know. And there's a bunch of cases like that, throughout history. How does somebody end up with 2 gunshot wounds in their head?
Yeah.
The same thing if somebody strangled themselves, self-strangulation. It's there's coroner's reports, morticians that have looked at Jeffrey Epstein's the body that pretty much deduced that it wasn't a suicide. And if we're gonna live in a society that's so fact-based, or where we're gonna trust the science, let's start looking into these things a little more before we start listening to people on the screen like news networks and mainstream television and just taking everything they say for fact.
Yeah, you got to form your own opinion with these things, because they obviously want to spin the narrative towards the least confrontational way with obviously these big key players who are involved in these type of industries.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We as a people need to get back to doing our own research and thinking for ourselves. Because if we keep on letting the people with the biggest platforms, whether that's political or social, these people have an agenda, and it's in their best interest to make sure they have the loudest voices and they're spewing out all the information. We have to gather this information for ourselves now, because we're in a point in history where we realized we can easily be lied to. So the only way to counteract that is just to do our own research for ourselves.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so us 3, Friday night, we go into the movie theater. The first 5 minutes of the movie was really uncomfortable, and it kind of set the tone for the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, because I really want you guys to go watch this movie. But essentially, there's just scenes of not
exactly child abuse or child sexual abuse, but it gets it right to the point of where what's going to happen, and it invokes that emotion in you to where you want to do something, but then again, it's just a movie and it's depicting.
Yeah.
But it does a real good job of setting up shots to make emotion come out of you, because that's the whole reason the movie was made. It was to bring this into the light, bring the emotion out of you to do something. And that's what everyone has to do today. Yeah. Even if you donate $1 to help these missions, help that underground railroad, you need to do something. And even if it's just going to watch the movie, it takes $13 for a ticket. I think I spent $50 for 4 tickets.
Yeah.
It's $50 that went towards the fight for this. So you got to do something.
Especially we're all early 20s people who don't have a lot of money, and we can only give so much. And I think by us talking about it, going to see the movie, obviously it only helps. You got to be able to, we can only control what we can do. We can only do so much. But
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, even if you don't have $1 in your pocket, don't discount the most valuable weapon in your arsenal, and that's your voice. Because you never know the people you're going to reach, and you're never going to know the impact that you're going to have on other social hemispheres. So even if you don't have any money to donate, you could just watch what we do, and you can speak on that. When you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram, you have entire communities that and accounts that are following you, and you're gonna feed into their daily consumption of content. So even if you don't have money to put into the hat of human trafficking to help stop it, don't discount your voice. Everybody's got to be heard. This is, I think, what we could do, and this is a part of striking the fire when it's hot, is if everybody's collectively going against this issue and uses their social media, then we can kind of steer this in the right direction where we're not letting those people with bigger platforms kind of speak for us. You got to speak for yourselves.
Yeah.
So even when you're watching this, don't think that you just have to whip out your wallet or your debit card and donate. You can just make a video and you can speak on the issue and your feelings about it, and you have no idea what kind of impact you can have.
I mean, I know I told you about the movie, a week before we went to see it? I've had the tickets, pre-ordered for a month?
Yeah, wow.
I was like,
I didn't even know what it was about, and you were like, yo, I got you a movie ticket.
Yeah.
Like,
I ordered 4 of them. I was like, let's go. But then I know I put you on too. I was like, bro, go look at this, watch it. I know I was posting stuff on my Instagram, Mel Gibson promoting it, Ivanka Trump promoting it. Like, all you gotta do is put your voice out there. I mean, post stuff on Instagram every once in a while. That's the only outlet that I have. I post everything like that on social media, so everyone around me can see, because I know with you it is a big issue. Like, you have feelings toward this. I know you have feelings towards this. If you don't have feelings towards it, you're probably part of the problem.
You gotta adjust that fucking moral compass. Cause damn.
Because I had a comment on that video that I made, and I stitched it or videoed it or whatever.
You pinned it.
Did you watch that? I posted it yesterday. And this guy commented, and he was kind of just like, yeah, like, we know what's going on, but like, there's nothing we can do about it. So, and like, it was, so I replied it, and I can insert the video probably here, but I kind of just said, hey man, like, you got to understand where they're coming from, because that is a way of thinking where it's like, all right, it's completely out of my control. What the fuck am me, Jake Mag, what am I supposed to do about this?
Wait.
But the best way to think about it is almost like, just, I don't know, make a video yourself, watch the movie, tell a friend about it. You know what I mean? Because nobody thinks this is right at the end of the day. So don't discount it or discredit it right away because you don't think it's going to get solved. You know what I mean? You got to have faith in it.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people are out there making videos talking about this subject, but how are you going to come and just say something about one person speaking their voice? Like, how is this dude going to write a message like that on your video? Like, bro, don't be so ignorant.
Negative, even.
Yeah, like, how many times have you seen it on your feed that you just decided to say something like that to that video? But...
And that comment got like 500 or 600 replies under it, of all people
probably coming
saying the same thing that I said, you know. And I get it, because I have a lot of friends and personal people who definitely have that same response as that guy did, you know. And it's out of our hands, I don't know, but you gotta do what you can, you know. If I care about this stuff. I know I can't change the fucking world, but I can control what I can do. And I think that's the most important thing.
And all you can do is push it.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing ever gets done unless you push through something. You need to complete something. And this is something that'll probably never be completed, but it's something that definitely has to be fought against nonstop for the exploitation. Yeah.
They're scared now.
Yeah.
You know.
I think this comes down to a personality kind of thing. If you're walking down a dark alleyway and you see a girl and she's getting jumped by maybe this robber or a thief, and he's trying to take her purse, the law says you don't have to help her. It's legal if you were to just walk by and turn your head and act like nothing was going to happen. But why this is a personality thing is that I know if I were in that alleyway, I would go in there and then I would try to do something to prevent that.
Mm-hmm. You do everything to prevent
I try to do everything I could to try to prevent that.
I mean, as a man, even with a female, as a man, you are to put yourself in harm's way in that situation. Yeah. That's just what you're supposed to do.
And that's exactly the position. I mean, that's a basic analogy, but that's the exact position that we've kind of found ourselves in today. I mean, there's this big issue, biggest international crime network that's going on right now. It's projected to surpass drugs, right? It's a big issue. You can't ignore
number.
It. Yeah.
What's the number? It's like 150.
It's like 150 billion a year.
Yeah.
Market.
A year. And they gave us another point on that. That's enough to send every college-ready student to Stanford. That's crazy money. So why this is a personality thing is that some people would discredit their own ability and would say, I don't have to do anything to help her because I can't do anything to help her.
That's a problem with you then.
There's other personalities out here that haven't lost hope. There's other personalities out there that look at that and they want to say, even if I don't have the power to stop it directly, I want to do what I can, whether that's trying to alert help or bring more attention to it. You know, you got to kind of assess your own character and you got to make a choice, you know, what's going to be your place or what's your stance on this? Are you going to act on it? Or
it's just scary because we put the people who are involved and the people who aren't talking and the media corporations, we put them on such a pedestal when at the end of the day we're all people, we're all the same. So I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I know what I know.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give in.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk. All right. Size of the audience.
If I were to give a rough head count, I'd say there might have been like...
In the theater?
Yeah. Yeah. I would have said there might be like 25 to 35 heads in there, maybe.
That's what I would say.
I would say 30s.
There was a good amount of people there. There
was like 15 that walked in after those final advertisements started up, and then, you know, the girl was singing at the beginning of the movie. That's like the first 30 seconds. No spoilers, but there was like a good 5-10 people that walked in right at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it was a decent size in my eyes.
It's more than I've been at the movie. For the past 3 months I've gone to the movies.
Yeah,
I've seen like 5 to 7 people max.
Yeah.
I don't really have a frame of reference. I haven't been going to the theaters too much after COVID.
Yeah. Streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like going to the theaters. It was kind of nice seeing. I haven't been to a theater. The last time I was in a packed theater was probably Avengers Endgame, and that was packed. So this one was. I mean, it was a step in the right direction.
I find that crazy how, like, even at that Avengers, like a packed thing, like just this Marvel Universe movie, Disney making. How many people watch that? Yet you can't just spend the same $13 and come just view what this movie's about.
Well, this movie, we can get into the. I mean, this movie, they're not talking about it, but I read. Do any of you have Wi-Fi on your phone or something? We can look. Apparently, this movie outsold Indiana Jones 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1, and had $10 million in pre-orders ticket sales.
Fuck you, Disney.
Yeah, so that's huge.
And I mean, Indiana Jones is like,
I'm still
like I would go see Indiana Jones, but this was more important than just going and watching a movie, bro. At least you're contributing towards something.
Yeah.
Rather than just your own entertainment.
Definitely.
Y'all would rather watch Spider-Man Get with Zendaya, and you won't give the same time and energy to the biggest international crime network in the world. What the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, you gotta ask these questions, right? Well, like, look in the mirror.
We can go from that topic to this. Now, some conspiracy theories involving the theaters with this.
Yeah, what's going on in the theaters, man?
The ones that I was hearing about were when you were ordering your tickets online, it was saying that the theaters were sold out or there wasn't many seats available. And when people got to the theaters, empty seats all over.
It's a Matrix attack.
So, yeah. Matrix attack.
I mean, I pre-ordered mine a month before. I mean, that's how ready I was to go do that. Pre-ordered a month before, everything was fine. I saw that the things they say they kept on selling out in certain areas, but then again, that could be theaters in Utah, that could be theaters in freaking Colorado, it could be any state that they're selling out. But I didn't want to take the chance of me going to buy the ticket there and then not be able to do it.
Yeah, no, fair. But, I mean, you pre-ordering it was probably the best move. Because I told a friend of ours to not come because I thought it was going to be sold out. I mean, and it wasn't even close to being sold out. So, Jason, you want to bring up the other theory? The AC?
Yeah, the AC. All right. Hold on. Let me...
I mean, a lot of attacks. Like, there's so many ways that you could block something or attack something, but coming down to this, like, this is fresh to me. I didn't even know about that. Freaking ACs, not putting them on. That doesn't come down to, like, government control and shit, that comes down to whoever runs the movie theater. Like, that person...
I mean, again, is it a coincidence? I don't know. I've heard 10 probably different stories.
When's the last time you went into a movie theater and that shit was hot?
Exactly.
Bro, your nipples are frozen every time you're in a movie theater. You could cut glass with them.
That's
shit.
true.
Like, that's just a fact. That's how all movie
Ours
theaters
was
are.
icy cold.
They keep you cold so you're awake and you're watching the movie with loud sound.
I ripped holes in my shirt. My nipples were certainly poking. Anyways, I just pulled out this article. It's no big blog or anything. It's real rundown by the author was Glennie Glassman. It came out on July 10th. So it's this one woman coming out of the AMC theater, and apparently she made a video or something online. She said, "My friends and I just walked out and we were curious what your experience were in the movie theater." She said, "Because we pre-ordered our tickets, paid for them, they were claimed, got the link, some point today, tickets got refunded to my friend and we couldn't figure out why," end quote. So,
interesting.
I mean, that's just one person's experience. The article also says they got there and they were told that the tickets were refunded because there wasn't any air conditioning in the theater. So they asked if they could still watch the movie even without AC and wondered why they weren't told explicitly that there was a problem with air conditioning when they were sent the refund notification. So, I mean, like, you got a refund notification, but you weren't given any reason why. I mean, I guess I could see that somehow. AMC is a big business. If they're gonna like refund the tickets, I could see that they'd like, if it's an automated notification, I could see like not including any explicit details, but like when it's exclusively this one movie, that kind of raises a couple of eyebrows.
Exactly.
Because that didn't happen to any other movies in that theater, according to this
Never
woman.
seen that happen to any movie at any movie theater ever.
Yeah.
Just raises red flags.
Yeah.
You have some more?
Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna go. I'll only go on for a little bit more. She said, "I smell something stinky," end quote. Other people said that their theater had issues playing the movie as well. "Wow, this is crazy. The same thing happened to us. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada," wrote one person. "The AMC in Texas was also with no AC," another person added. "Same in New York. I watched with no air condition," a third person claimed. So this is across states in the United. Yeah, this is across states in the U.S. So
it's weird because, you know, it might not be a big deal anywhere else, but I know I didn't hear AC's not working when Endgame came out.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the closest thing you could get to something like that is you go to the drive-in and it's fucking raining.
Yeah.
Like, that's the closest thing to a movie cancellation you can see.
Yeah.
Because it's outdoors. But indoors, like, these people run these movies every single day.
Is it really that hard to switch, too? It's all digital now, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So why, I mean, switch theater.
Oh, they don't, you think they don't got at least one vacant theater in there?
Especially on a new release movie where people bought pre-ticket sales, you can't switch theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, and get rid of the movie that nobody's watching?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just weird.
So here's the big problem now. People are going to take this and they're going to pin the term conspiracy theory on it. Mm-hmm. And we just need to try and embrace the fact that you can't call everything a conspiracy theory right now. Because one thing you have to understand about human trafficking is that this is for the people on the elite level of society. These are people with great power and these are people with great influence. If they wanted, let's put ourselves in their shoes for a second. If we didn't want to be exposed to millions of people, which is what we're assuming because of the release of Sound of Freedom, then with our great influence and with our great power, we could probably swing trying to mitigate people catching the influence of this movie. So if we're there's
incentive.
Yeah, if we're trying to solve like a murder case or something, there's incentive, there's a motive, and there's a means because they have ties to these big companies like AMC theaters. Yeah. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so
Don't write it off right away.
Yeah.
Look into it. I mean, you
How?
can take it. It could just be a big coincidence, but you know.
But how pissed off do you think Disney is right now?
Yeah.
With this movie beating out their Indiana Jones movie that they've been probably working on for how long?
Yeah.
Oh.
3-1.
Disney's been going down the chute too.
Yeah, they
Most
keep
of it
pushing their
leads to
woke
there.
agenda. Their
Yep.
movies are like, I mean, Disney movies used to be the best fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Elite, they had so many bangers, and just...
Now it's just all persuasion to the younger generation.
And the frogs are gay and shit. It's all
Yep.
over.
It's very scary. We don't really... the next thing I have written down is just media attention. We kind of already went through. I mean, the lack of... The media almost explained, like, saying that this movie doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
The best way of them not getting people to see it is just not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And they offered it to how many people? They offered it to Netflix,
Turn it
Hulu,
down.
Freebie, that free movie website.
Did Prime get it?
I'm not sure.
That would be...
Not
I would
sure.
think Prime would get it, but because there's got to be other ways for people to watch this movie. Like, it's just... And then I saw a CNN news headline where they were talking and they were comparing it, or not comparing, I guess they were calling it a extremist conservative slash, and it was like a slash QAnon movie.
If supporting this
fucking
movie,
crazy.
if supporting this movie and this movement makes me an extremist, then so be it.
Yeah.
Because kids aren't for sale. If that makes me an extremist, that's what I am. That's what everyone like-minded is at that point.
God's children are not for sale.
Nope.
Yeah, dude. And shout out to the fucking director, the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson for help putting this shit up. I mean, 5 years ago this thing was made.
Yeah. Dana White for shouting it out. I think the
Yeah.
UFC was
Yeah,
probably
I
the
saw,
only
I
big
saw that TikTok
fucking
today.
company that was shouting it
Elon
out.
Musk, he posted something about it on
Did
Twitter.
he?
He said something about streaming it off of Twitter
Yo.
at some point, but
That'd be
I'm not sure how all that would work.
Elon's really playing to the people, man. You know, I mean, obviously he has his motives. He's
Yeah.
the richest man in the world, but at least, I mean, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
He's helping out in that way. It's great.
I didn't even know he was gonna put it on Twitter.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up like a week ago.
I think so. Unified TV pushed a lot. Jason Shirkra,
Yep.
watch a lot of him, and this has been out there for a while.
Did you have any statistics that you had written down or anything that you wanted to go over? I'm all out.
I mean, being on the Operation Underground Railroad site, we could probably put their link down in the description.
Yeah, explain
you
what
can-
that is first, maybe.
Operation Underground Railroad is an organization. Tim Ballard, you know, the main character in the movie that was played by Jim
Carvelli?
It's something like that. Sorry, Jim,
Jason,
for not knowing how to
pronunciation.
pronounce your name.
The actor who played Tim Ballard.
He also played in The Passion of the Christ as Jesus, and Mel Gibson asked him to play that, which he did a good job with that too. If you've ever seen The Passion of the Christ,
Jim Caviezel.
Caviezel, yeah,
That
there
was Mr. Miyagi type stuff. Wow.
Matrix fly.
Yeah. Dude, no wonder you fucked up those wasps earlier.
Yeah, bro, you know it.
Yeah, we're filming this podcast with a former wasp home hanging above our head.
Taken two.
Yeah.
Two. Taken away now. Don't worry.
They're out here.
We're safe.
Yeah, we're fighting off any and all threats that are going to keep us from exposing these child predators. Crack the Matrix in half.
Yeah, you see Tristan Tate's on Instagram?
Is he
off
actually?
topic? Not Tristan Tate.
Oh, that's his new one? Not Tristan Tate?
And that guy that I've been following, Alex Sedlak, that we watched his fluoride video.
Yes.
The blonde kid. He, I guess I don't know, he paid for like a conversation with Tristan the other day.
$1,000 a minute.
Yeah, and he had a combo with him, and Tristan, Alex Sedlak's killing it, but he was kind of just like, damn, bro, you're doing really good. It was just cool. Like, I was like, yeah, that's fucking dope.
$1,000 a minute.
Man, if I had $5,000 that I could throw away, I'd talk to one of them for 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. A little bit of off topic, but I want to throw that in there.
Talk to them about Sound of Freedom. That would be That would go off.
Yeah. Well, they probably are.
I mean, honestly,
they know what's going on. Probably, they probably know some players.
Yeah.
probably.
And they're already in hot water, so they can't really talk much more. They're gonna get offed.
Yeah.
Well, especially
They're
with
gonna play cool.
human trafficking. That's what their case is about.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you come out trying
Coming
to
at
talk
them for
about,
human trafficking.
yeah, like if they try and talk about, like the real thing that's happening with human trafficking, they'll just get thrown in jail right away because it pertains to their open investigation per se.
I don't think they can bring up anything on the topic.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that much money, like even like the one dude, like you need money to make these things happen, and there's rich people that do help fund missions like this.
That one character in the movie, man, we need people like him.
For
He
fun.
was my favorite character. He didn't really have any lines, but I was like, this guy, like, he's such a key fucking player.
Yeah.
You need those millionaires to be on the sane side of things.
To make a front for,
Yeah.
because these people that traffic children, they're used to extravagant life. I mean, look at your cartels, your mafias. How much money do they have? Now look at human traffickers. How much money do they have? They can somehow put shipping containers full of 10 to 20 kids on a ship. Like, that takes money, that takes coordination, but they're used to that stuff. So when they see an island like Epstein's that's, this happens here, that attracts them. But who's going to buy an island and put a front up like that to attract them?
For real.
Like, governments can't do that all by themselves.
Yeah.
Even though we spend stupid money in tax, but
Yeah. It was
some of
just
that
such
could
a
go
good...
towards that.
The movie almost turns into a heist movie about, like, an hour in.
It was a roller coaster of emotions, that movie.
Best way to put it.
Yeah.
Like...
Make you want to cry, make you want to punch someone in the face.
Yeah. Low key, the beginning made me so uneasy.
Yeah.
That I turned to both of you and I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I feel weird as fuck right now.
I was like jaw dropped
Yeah.
the entire time.
I felt so uncomfortable, man. Like,
But that shit happens, like, every day. Like, you don't see the things happening, but that just puts an image in your mind of, this is one of those cases.
mm-hmm.
Taking pictures of kids, fucking auditions for stuff, trying to become the next world's big talent. It's just all a fucking play.
The thing is, I mean, in America, a little bit different. If somebody comes up to you and says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Honduras,
you can make it out of this life.
Yeah.
You can
It's
go to
really-
America and do these things.
it's really scary.
It's fucked up.
And I'll throw in this. They show, obviously there's actors playing, in the movie, but they show some real clips at the end of the movie.
Which I've been looking for. I've been looking for those clips.
I can't find them online.
Oh, I saw it.
If you
Didn't I? On TikTok?
No, not those.
Oh.
Like the clips from the island.
Oh.
The
I
real
wanna see 'em.
CCTV
I want to see
footage.
them. Like, I
Yeah.
want to see the fuckers who are doing it. Bro, they looked normal as fuck.
Yeah.
A very beautiful black lady. I mean, like, people you would not expect, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's some scary shit. So
They're
just,
all over. All shapes, all sizes, all colors.
we don't have kids, but I have a sister. You have
I have
three
three.
little sisters. So
I have little cousins.
you have little. It's just you gotta,
Bro, I don't
Scary
have
world.
fear as a man, but the only thing that I do fear is one of my sisters being gone and me not knowing where the fuck they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to come home one day and it was my parents were bawling like one of my sisters was gone, oh God, I wouldn't know where to start, but I'd be in my car.
Yeah.
I'd be in my car going, where were they?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if they're at Dorney Park. I'm going to Dorney Park and I'm fucking kicking the door and, like, where's the security footage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need no police investigation. They'll be here.
Yeah.
Where's the footage? You gotta Liam Neeson that shit sometimes.
For real.
Be a vigilante.
It's really scary shit, man.
Something else I wanted to touch on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You read some of these headlines, about the Sound of Freedom. And, it's like, what was the one about a Washington Post or something? You already mentioned it during the podcast. It includes, like, ties to QAnon.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, once again, don't let these people with great power and influence that, can edit these head titles to discourage you from going out and watching this movie. I promise you will not become a major QAnon supporter if you go out and you watch this movie about human trafficking. I barely even know what QAnon is, personally. I've never looked into it. My motive for going to watch that movie is because I have younger siblings and relatives that I deeply care about. And I understand, I have sympathy for what the father in that movie who lost his 2 kids. Even though that movie, it's just like a portrayal of real events, that is happening, but on a mass scale. There are millions of parents that are coming home and losing their kids, or just going on about life knowing that they have pretty much no hope, with going to find their kids. And with organ harvesting, which is real, their kids might be in a landfill or something, after getting brutally raped and then murdered. Children, the most innocent form of life. So it's just, that's what the movie's basically alluding to. So when you go online and you try to search it up and you try to get an idea of what it's all about, don't let these head titles and people that are trying to voice their negative opinions on the movie discourage you from going to see it. The people that you do watch online that are talking about it, a lot of them, if not most of them, are encouraging everybody else they know to go see it. So it's a majority of people. Don't listen to the big news networks that are telling you to don't see it, or are telling you to not see it. Listen to the people that are online telling everybody else to go see it. Listen to the voice of the people this time. Don't listen to the big news networks. Listen to the voice of the people. We gotta move as one.
Yeah, bro. That's it. I don't think the amount of people who probably watch CNN at this point is so small.
Yeah, it's older people.
Yeah, it's
like our grandparents' age. I mean, they're stuck.
Mr. Beast probably makes 20 times what CNN makes.
Yeah.
CNN, that's crazy.
I think CNN gets 700,000 viewers or something.
That's crazy, dude.
Small numbers, man.
Did he promote it?
Probably not.
Mr. Beast.
Probably
not. That's a big one.
There's ties, man.
If he promotes Sound of Freedom...
We'll see if Joe Rogan talks about it.
Yeah. Well, Joe Rogan and Dana White are big buddies, so I think he might.
Patrick Bet-David probably did.
Yeah.
Alex Jones definitely did.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll probably see a Joe Rogan. We'll probably see a Joe Rogan podcast with Jim on it. Or maybe did he do one with Tim Ballard?
I don't know. Maybe in the past.
I'm sure he.
I feel like it was
scheduled. If not yet, I think Joe Rogan's.
If it wasn't a while ago, 2015-ish, 2016-ish, that it was made, then I'm sure he'll be on at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Joe Rogan was just in it for the money, which I'm sure, he's. Oh, is it still going?
No, yeah, it's good. Go ahead.
All right. If Joe Rogan, even if he was just in it for the money, which I don't think would be his motive for having Tim Ballard or Jim Caviezel on it, it'd be a heck of a.
Joe Rogan's definitely not in it for the money.
No, he's not. But think of the amount of attention that podcast would get if that Sound of Freedom was outnumbering Indiana Jones in ticket sales.
This is my theory with it, bro. We're the majority.
Yeah.
The vast majority.
The quiet majority.
The quiet majority.
They don't want... It's much easier to say that to pretend that nobody is watching this.
Yeah.
Watching this movie is such a small scale. I mean, you could go for days talking about all the other shit.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to lie and just be nobody's watching this crazy, this conservative, QAnon, extremist shit. Nobody believes that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody.
Yeah.
So it's just easier for them to pretend and keep playing their roles on the whatever news stations or whatever, just like they always do.
Yeah.
So, I have faith that many other people are going to watch this and, I don't know if we can fix it, but at least people are going to be aware.
Yeah.
And awareness is the fucking first step. Because I know when I was younger, when I first started getting into conspiracy theories, this was Alex Jones was like, when I was like 13, 14, this dude was talking about Pedophile Island and all this crazy shit that nobody believed and was all conspiracy theory. And then look what happens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been on it for a while. He's been on a roll.
Alex Jones is the man.
Shout out Alex Jones.
He's the man.
He makes mistakes. He's a human.
Alex Jones, come on the podcast.
It's okay. People make mistakes. You don't have to discredit everything they've ever said.
You want me to be real for a second? If you hate pedophiles, I got some reservation or respect for you. So say whatever you want about Alex Jones, but if he doesn't like pedophiles, if he doesn't like human traffickers, I've already reserved respect for the guy. Because you know what? Maybe the Washington Post isn't supporting the sound of freedom, so I know how I feel about them.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're about 40 minutes in. We can wrap this up.
Got it.
I think we did what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to upload this hopefully tomorrow. So you guys will be seeing this. We'll say you'll be seeing this on Wednesday.
Most likely.
I'm going to upload some TikTok clips for this, and stay tuned for more episodes of the podcast. We are not going to be talking about the same things on every episode, but this is something that's on our minds, so it's going to be a reoccurring topic.
This is something that's real, and it's right now.
Yeah, so
it's relevant.
You guys stay safe out there. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching.
Ciao.
Guys, thanks for coming.
Deuces.
No problem. Pleasure. Yo guys, thank you for watching that video. It really means a lot to all of us at CheefHouse that you watch this, and hopefully you'll go watch this movie soon. We're just trying to spread awareness for it. If you want to watch the trailer, I'm going to link it right here for the movie Sound of Freedom, and also the link for the Underground Railroad website is in the description, so check that out as well. Have a good one.